Hey, welcome back. So on our last video that we just did was creating a mobile video in Canva for our Reels, our Stories, and Shorts. So this is the same design that I was using in that particular video, but we're going to go in and create 100 of these all at once, super easy. We're going to use the bulk create function here in Canva, and this is just going to be mind-blowing. You're going to love this. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to play with my design here a little bit. Instead of it saying attention buyers, I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to change this as a placeholder, and it's going to say subject. Okay, and then for the question part, we're going to highlight all of that, and we're just going to simply make that question. And then we just remember we're going to use the slide to get to that answer content. We're going to double click on this and we're going to just name this answer. Okay, so basically we now have three fields. We have a subject, a question, and an answer field here on our design. Now we're going to go in and let's create what content that we're going to put into this to make it super easy. So in order to create our content or all the different topics that we're going to do, we're going to leverage AI. So I'm going to open up a new tab. Now you could go to ChatGPT, you could go to Claude, you could go to Perplexity, whichever one that you want to use. Since we have it free inside of our kw.com Google Workspace accounts, I'm simply going to come in here to the little waffle grid and I'm going to select Gemini. So we're going to use Gemini for this. So where do we start? What is the prompt that we're going to use? So I've already put a prompt together for you. So if you go to this URL here at http://tiny.cc/100ideas, you will then get this prompt. So let's talk about this for a quick second. So what I'm asking the AI to do is to create a table that includes 100 interesting facts about real estate in a question and answer style. Okay, I'm letting it know that my purpose is to increase brand awareness, likes, and subscribers, and I'm giving it the topics that I want it to have in there. Okay, so a market reality check, home ownership psychology, maybe some weird facts, some architecture history, something fun about locations, that might be odd there, some real estate myths, and I want them to be on a rotating basis so that it's not all just one topic all the time. Okay, I want it to be engaging. I don't want them to repeat any facts, and I want them to use this format. This is important. This is going to help it create a table that we're going to be able to cut and paste to bring back into Canva. So we're going to copy all of this here right now. Hit copy. I'm going to come back here into Gemini and I'm simply going to hit paste. So all my prompt is all there. It's ready to go. I just have to click submit. So this might take a minute or two depending on your connection. It's running through and you can see it's already going to town, right? So I now have my separate columns. So I have my subject, my question, and my answer. And if we remember, that's what I have in my design now. So now I can take all of these once it finishes up. Looks like it's still chugging them a little bit, but it is giving me all 100 of those. Now, if for some reason it stops at like 10 or 20, just ask it to continue on to complete the 100. But it looks like we're all here now. Looks good to me. So I am going to grab all of these. I'm going to click on export. I'm going to copy the contents as opposed to exporting to docs. So I'm going to hit copy. And then I'm going to come back here into my design. So we need to start with a kind of a spreadsheet. So I'm actually going to go back here to the home page and I'm going to select sheet. Okay, if you don't see sheet here, just click on the plus button for create here. And then you should see sheets down here in the mix. So I want to use a blank sheet. We can just click on that now. And then I am going to go to the first one here and click on paste. Great. So I now have my subjects, all of my questions and all of my answers. Okay, so let's scroll down. We should have 100 of these. Ooh, looks like we have a lot more than 100 of these. Well, that's okay. We can use a couple of extra sets. That's all right. We have a little bit more. But here we go. So now we have the spreadsheet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to Actions. So when you click Actions, you have a whole bunch of different things to pick from. We want to bulk create. So it's going to give us all that there. We're going to hit Continue. And then we're going to pick a design. Now, because we've already opened our design that we've been working on, we should be able just to click on this mobile video Q&A. And that's it, right? This is the design that we were working with. We had changed it to subject, question, and answer. So now we just need to add the data fields to link them up. Okay, that's why it says no data fields added. So you click on the first one. So we're using subject. We're going to right click and click on Connect Data and then select the subject column. We're going to do the same for the question one. Connect Data, question, and then the same with answer. Great. So now they're all connected. You can see they're in purple. And we are then going to go to create 100 designs. Okay, so I'm going to go on and click that. And this is where the magic happens. So it is chugging through that on the back end. All of these little design elements will start populating in. And once that happens, we'll be able to open those up. Looks like we get a little error. We're just going to click on reload the page. And I think we still have everything there. So let's try that again. So we're going to go back to the home page. And it looks like it did. It actually did create them all. So if you run into that little error, just check it first. But it looks like you got a bunch. Looks like we have one here that didn't quite come through. But as you can see, we have all of our different little videos that are now there. All right, so let's click on this one. This is one that was created from there. And you can see we have our video. If we hit play, it's going to run through. It has our question. Great. And then it gives us our answer. So very cool. We now have well over 100 different designs that we can now use for our social media posting. So what I'm doing with these is I am posting one of these a day. I'm posting them on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for shorts. And then I'm going to see how my engagement goes. And, hopefully my purpose there was to increase brand awareness and to, get more likes and clicks. And that's how I'm going to do it. So if you have any questions or comments, please throw those in the comments section here on the video. Other than that, if you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe. And we'll see you out there. Let's see what you can do with this. I think this is an awesome tool. And if you're not leveraging it right now, you're missing out. Have a great day.